everybody, my name is Shamika and I love to travel, and fun fact about me, I went all the way to Paris and did not see the Eiffel Tower. No.
Yes. Right. But I want to help you get to that point to where you do become an adult.
No, for real. I swear.
Yeah.
So like I said, as long as we're being open, you know.
I think like it's such a unique thing as a female.
For another.
Hello everybody, my name is Shamika and I love to travel, and fun fact about me, I went all the way to Paris and did not see the Eiffel Tower.
Very interesting.
Interesting.
We'll have to have a couple of drinks and I'll tell you all about it. Absolutely.
Well, you know, I already started, so I guess I'll go ahead and catch up. I love to travel too, so I like Italy. My name's Katrina.
Okay, hey Katrina, nice to meet you.
That's nice to meet you. You want my last name?
No, we're on a first name basis.
Okay. Well, I love to travel. Hobbies could be traveling and hanging out with the girls, having fun. So, what's your part year?
Well, I'm Celeste.
Celeste.
As well love to travel with my family. And a fun fact is I love to write books.
Ooh. What kind of books?
Exactly.
Well, a couple shots. I'll let you guys see the chat.
Okay.
We're going to throw the whole shot game.
Thoughts in my head. I'm like,
Let's go. My name is Regina. And fun fact about me, I actually like skiing and swimming. And yeah, but I don't like to be in the cold that long. So pick your poison.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, welcome to our Women in Power podcast, where we talk about all things women and power. All right, so I guess I'll get us kicked off.
Let's go.
Oh my
goodness, what is this gonna be?
I'm so nervous. I don't know.
Corporate black women.
corporate black women?
Oh, what does that mean? When you
Well,
say
I'm going to let you
corporate
start that one off. That's less since you picked it.
I will start it off. I think all of us at some point has been a corporate black woman. Some of us are still our corporate black women. And I think I just hate the stigma that comes along with it, where you have to earn.
What?
Why do you think people do that though? Like, why can't we be authoritative? Why can't black women be the manager or the
Why
person?
can't you
the
come
woman,
in?
Like the woman.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, the woman. Because it don't matter what skin color you are. Even the opposite sex on the opposite same color still looks at you like you can't finalize the decision. Like you can't, make that decision and make things run. They still
Right.
Absolutely.
as a woman.
I would agree. I worked at a telecom company for years, and at the time I was 25 years old, and I had got a promotion. Right, I applied for this job. I was told to apply for it by upper management. So upper management is like director, right, VP. Like, oh, Shamika, you should apply for this job, and I did. And the salary that I thought, so like, let's just say, for example, I was at $5 an hour, and I'm like, okay, well, if they give me at least $8, I'm good, right? $8, I'm like, okay, I can pay my bills. Like, if I'm at $5, $8 is good. So then they came back with an offer, and it was like $11.50. So I'm really like, oh my gosh, like I have made it. To just find out 6 months after that, I got a raise for like $20. So the fact that they were underpaying me
Already,
right? So if I was okay with 8, you gave me $11.50, and then here I come back to make 20. It just was, I was very concerned by it. They were like, oh yeah, we wanted to see if you could handle the work, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And then like 5 years later in that same role, they did a reassessment, and I was still being underpaid by like $20,000.
Oh my goodness.
You see what I'm, so it's like, and I was bringing in millions of dollar contracts, like every quarter, like millions of dollars, like doing all of the back end work. And so I think to your point earlier of just we are not valued, but we're the people, when you pull the layers back of the office, we are the people who are getting things done, making sure that stuff moves, and then to be undercompensated is like a slap in the face.
It's like usually we're experts too. It's always that the black lady that knows, been there for a while, knows everything, so everybody goes to that person and asks, it asks a ton of questions, but she's never the executive, the indecision maker, those type of things.
But I think that goes along with, you have to know what the position comes with. When we're applying for jobs, are you doing your research? Because don't ever accept a base pay rate. I think that's important to know what, if you're looking for a job and you're applying, what the range is. So when you negotiate your pay, you know to be in that middle median or the higher median. Because if you start from the bottom, each company is only going to be able to give you a raise at a capacity each year. So if you start from the bottom, you're always going to be at the bottom of that pay scale. I think it's important to, protect yourself in that way and knowing what the pay truly is when you apply.
Oh, for sure.
Do you want to pull another one? Or?
Oh, I guess I'm next. Yes. Right. So mental health in the black community. Mental health in the black community. Well, wait a minute. Why is everybody taking a sip? Okay, so so my understanding of mental health in the black community, and this is coming from a veteran that's implanted and still going in the military. So I would tell you this: it's a big stigma. I've talked to other people, and as a black woman, it's like assumed that I already have mental health issues, right? Oh, she's emotional, she's this, she's that, so yeah, we got it. But it's never looked at for the black male, or it's never looked for other outside of our minority races. And that's just, Hispanic, black, brown, yellow, whatever. That's other than non-white, right? So I think that it needs to be talked about a little bit more, and I think more issues will be resolved. And we can stem other situations like violence and food disparities and other issues if we just start talking about and being open about our mental health, regardless if it's male, female, whatever. But what do you guys think about it?
Well, mental health is a big issue. Me working with the state of Indiana,
right?
I've realized that there is a lot of different mental health issues. From your, family issues to work issues to, business. So it's a very big stigmatism, and people don't know where to get the help is. That's the issue.
Ooh,
it's not necessarily our dealing with the mental health issue, because that comes and goes. Some people know how to deal with the little mental health issues a little better than others, but it's getting the help and the stigmatism of, oh, that's not what you're supposed to do in our community. We're not supposed to stress, because we're supposed to be strong all the time, right?
Ooh.
That's how our ancestors raised us. That's how they raised us. So we're supposed to be strong all the time. So when we're not strong, then how do we reach out for help? So I think that's more so of where we need to be looking for, as far as being okay to express ourselves, being okay to say, hey, I might need a little bit of help today, and tomorrow may be better, but today I need the help, and being able to find that help, because that's what it's all about with the mental health issues with the black community, any community, is being able to go out there and find the assistance for us. And then that's the whole thing with mental health. And I think Indiana right now is coming on to, trying to find those resources and making them available to people. But it's a long road for the mental health issues. So
Yep.
It's a long road, but I also feel like it starts, at a child's age. Like, I can't tell you guys how many times, even my own family members of my own family, where kids are running around, they have ADHD, they put them on all this medication, this Adderall. Do the children really need that? Like, do they really, need that medication that we're giving to them? And I've seen children on it from like the age of 5 all the way to adulthood, and they're like truly codependent on that. So I feel like it starts there. Like, as parents, are we truly giving the children what they need at a young age? Just a little bit of background. My mom, I know she loves me with all her heart, But I didn't hear that a lot growing up.
Mhm.
So now as a mother, I tell my girls probably 10 times a day how much I love them because I know how I felt. I didn't feel a lack of love, but I know that I wanted to hear that as a child. You know, those are kind of things when you grow up, you know, is your child feeling unloved because they don't hear it? I know they probably feel it, but they don't hear it. So I think all of those things play a part into mental health. Look at all these men, black men, that we have in the system. What if somebody told them how much they love them every day? You know, or the absent fathers that are, you know, out there. Like, you know, I didn't grow up in a 2-parent household, but I know I'm going completely off subject. But, you know, as I got older, I realized just how much I missed having my dad around. I seen him, you know, on visits maybe a couple times a year, but it mattered, you know, that he wasn't a part of the household with me. It really mattered. I do think it made me stronger though. It made me work that much harder to see my mom work so hard. It instilled like that work ethic in me. So I do appreciate that, but it didn't matter.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's more so, and everybody's experience is different. So it's not like you can take your experience and put it on another experience and it'll be better for them. Because I think everybody's different. So just because I was raised and I had a harder life and I turned out okay,
Great.
doesn't mean that the other person who didn't have a great life and had the same situation is going to turn out the same way. So I think that there lies the issue. You got to really be able to, because again, with the community, you're taught not to express. So I've learned a lot not being a person of expression, not being a person of that was raised to express themselves. I've seen a lot within my own household that said, you need to pay a little bit more attention. You need to say, I love you more. You need to say, hold off on some of that aggression that you have. You know what I'm saying? So all of that, just being able to see that more, you're always learning. You're always learning. You're always trying to figure out what's going on. But I think that's the thing. You have to be open to be able to learn and accept. I think that's really what it is, the acceptance of it, because the mental health issues, a lot of people are dealing with, like you said, growing up in that environment where you don't think it's okay to do it. But once you feel like it's okay to do it, you'll be able to express it to your friends, express it to your family, and then your family to accept it, because that's a whole nother thing. It's having somebody to be able to say, okay, baby, I understand. I see it. I hear you. I'm listening. And instead of somebody saying, go to church, do this, do that, you'll be okay. What's that? What's the thing? Toughen up. Or, you know what I'm saying? Just those things. It might have worked for our generation, or it might work for us when we was, but it might not be the same now. So we have to be able to, I think, just accept more.
I don't think it ever was like acceptable. I think hearing toughen up, or I even had to say like a reflection on myself. So like with my oldest son, I was like, you know what, I need to stop telling him to stop crying. And he was like 7, losing a basketball game. Like, so I had to really correct what I was doing, because I had this moment of, wow, seeing him kind of break down even more, and all he needed was like a hug. You know, like, I think teaching him how to put things into perspective will help him better than telling him, stop crying. Like, well, you may have another game. You win some, you lose some. Like, going through that motion with him and like talking it out with him and dealing with his emotions. But I think too much and being emotional is a little bit different for me. Like, for me, I feel as if there's a time and place of like different things. So like, for instance, like helping him like navigate the emotions that he was feeling at 7, losing his game, but let me help you like dissect it. Well, you know, you're gonna win some, lose some. You know, what can you improve? Use this as a learning moment. Like, use the energy for something else instead of just crying about it and sitting down doing nothing.
Yeah.
Because honestly, as an adult, things are going to
do
go
that.
wrong.
Yeah.
Right. Things are going to go wrong too. I don't want him to grow up too fast at 7, but I want to help you get to that point to where you do become an adult and you experience that. I don't want you to continue to sit down and cry.
Yeah.
Right. So I want you to figure out like how to like work through that emotion. Like I'm feeling like irritated, frustrated right now that my coworker did XYZ, and I want to cry about it, but maybe I step away, get myself together, and come back to the situation.
Right.
Same thing that he can take that same mentality as a 7-year-old and try to help him work through that. Yeah. So when he gets to that point, he's not crying then too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think it's like a balance.
It definitely is a balance.
Yeah.
And it's definitely what you just said when you said experience. They have to have that experience, like you just said, like. Yeah. And this is one thing that I've learned as a parent, because who was I to know how to be a parent?
Right. Well, that's the hard part. Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So as I'm growing, like I said, I take and I try to accept some things that my daughter say. Hey, remember back then? You know, maybe you should get it that way. No, for real. I swear. Y'all know that, but when they get older, they talk to you. So
they do.
But no. But one thing that I understood is experience. Because when I grew up, I had all the experience in the world because I was a person raising myself. So I had all that. Like I was like, oh no, you shouldn't have to do this. You shouldn't have to do this. So when I grew up as a parent, because I was like, let me shelter them from this. Let me do the thing. Let me take care of this. Take care of that. Take care of this. You know, so that's what I did for my daughter, my first daughter. You know, let me take care of this for you. Let me do this for you. Not knowing that those experiences allows them to figure life lessons out. Because that's what I did, right? And then I turned out different because I'm like, I did that, and I experienced it. But I didn't want her to experience all the things that I experienced, you know. So like I said, it's always good to be open. Like you said, teach them this, and then later on they grab onto that and understand a little bit better. But like I said, we all different. Ain't no one book, ain't no book out there for parenting, ain't no book out there for life.
Yeah.
So like I said, as long as we're being open, you know, open to it and understand that we don't know it all. No, we don't know it all.
No.
Man. And
I think grace and mercy with yourself actually helps, because I think as women, sometimes we feel like we have to be perfect in like everything, even before we move, and then as we're in it, we feel like it has to be this way, and if it's not, like we feel defeated instead of like accepting it as a lesson. And I think that also help and hurt us mentally at the same time. Like, so I think like it's such a unique thing as females. I think sometimes because we are like emotionally driven, with everything. Like,
and this is as women, like you just said, we're emotionally, and if we weren't emotional, then what? Like
the world would stop.
Right.
That's true, because we need nature and nurture. We need both of these things.
So we will be detached, even though we're all different in our nurturing ways. You know, some of us have a little nurturing more than others. No, like I might not be nurturing as much as the other person. You know, like you better. I'm just saying, you better, you know, get up somewhere. You know, strengthen up. I ain't gonna say the words they be saying, but I'm just saying. But I mean, buttercup. That's
buttercup.
You know, other people are. You know, and we just gotta.
You know, of course, during the pandemic, things were crazy, and you know. It was all of this. I was working from an office downtown, and they had just trashed. Or I don't know if you guys seen that during the pandemic.
Oh,
it was graffiti, and it was really taking a toll on me. You have all this stuff going on with the George Floyd risings going on, and I had to stop and say, you know what? I need a mental health day, and it is okay. I just needed a day. Like, let me just decompress. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think we're always just on the go. Even when we are preparing for our podcast, just getting our own schedules together has been a struggle. And we're just going and going and going. But I think this is therapeutic for all of us in a way.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like
Yeah.
work. We're just hanging out, you know, just talking. And I think it's okay. I think, and like I said, it starts young to let our children know it's okay. I think that's probably why the system is so messed up, and we have so many of our brown men and women in jail because nobody told them it was okay.
Right.
It's okay to express how you feel. It's okay to say what you need, say what you want. And then when something bad happens, it just explodes.
Right.
I would agree with that. Coming from my lens, growing up, I had a couple of relatives I was really close to, right? You know, it was like, even though I'm poor and I know you poor, like I got a little bit, you know what I mean? Like you can kind of see the difference, but I'm like, I love hanging out with my cousins and all that stuff. And I firmly believe that we are taught how to act. Follow me on this one. We taught how to act. So like, for example, we don't want to go to therapy, but you know, there are people who go to their monthly appointment with their social worker because she has to talk to you about your food stamp. So you got to tell her, this is my business. This is all, you know, give her the rundown of the factual stuff. And so you tell the things that you want to tell. Or my son or my daughter has, I think, ADHD. Let's just use that. And I think they have it because, oh, my friend got a check. So now I want my kid to get a check. So now I'm going to tell what's wrong with my child. So I can also get this check because in addition to my assistance and my food stamps, I can now get a check too. So and I think we compartmentalize and tell the truth that we want to tell. But when our children get older and we get older, we stop telling that truth, or we say, oh, you know what, such and such is just crazy, or, you know, they always been like that. But in reality, I don't really think, like to this day, I still don't think nothing was wrong with my cousins. I promise you there's nothing wrong with them. I think the issue is that their situation that they were born into bred them into being the adults that they are today.
Oh,
right. And if I talk to my cousin, you know, one of them is currently incarcerated as we speak for just doing repetitive dumb stuff. And I believe no matter, because I'm the cousin that they call, like, she I need to talk to you, da 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 da, and I'm just like, look, why? Like, why? Like, why are you? It's just like they're, hey, I'm about to go rob this bank, cuz what you think? No, don't do it. Well, you know, I need the Jordans. No, you don't. But people, that's how they want to live their lives and thinking that that's okay. But instead of, I'm going to work hard. I want to wake up at 5 a.m., go to class, study, work a part-time job. Y'all want to sit up here and work 3 jobs, 3 hard labor jobs, spend all your money up as soon as you get paid, dishing it out on fast food and whatever that looks like, trying to create this lifestyle that you think that you were owed instead of really trying to work hard and work smarter and not harder. And so all of that to say, I firmly believe in our community, and I feel like our generation, like us here, are the curse breakers. Because my children, they understand, okay, mommy works hard, but mommy has a job, she has a business, she has things that she's aspiring to be. I'm not just going to work 3 factory jobs where I don't see my kids and I'm only giving you this money or trying to pay for the rent at this house, but we own our home, I own my cars. I have a business. So I believe that we're the curse breakers, and we have to just keep trying and talk to our therapists to help us overcome this. But I feel like our generation will break that cycle. I really do.
But you know, where you're setting up that financial blueprint, literally what you just said is that blueprint. I know we're all kind of navigating through life trying to make sure our children don't struggle as much as we do. But every child doesn't get that. You know, you've been blessed enough to be able to give that blueprint to your children. But what about the children that are not getting that? You know, what does that look like for them? And that may have been your cousin. You know, I don't know, you know, the background, but that may have been your cousin. Maybe their parents didn't teach them and my parents didn't either. Right. I had to get out there and learn it. So I like that you said, what'd you say? We are the generational curse breakers. Okay. That's true. But you know, what does that look like? Everybody doesn't make it out. You know, I see, and me and Regina graduated together. But, you know, this is why it's so important that we reach back. I love that all you ladies have businesses. I love that. You guys are in the community, and I do my community work too. Okay. But I think it's important that we reach back. You know, there's a lot of people, even some of our peers from Arlington that have come to me that need help in the area that I work in. And it is absolutely no shame. I want to help. You know, I think it's important that we reach back, you know, to our community to be able to provide those services.
I would agree. But one thing I've learned from experience is that some people will come to you saying that they need help, but they really want a handout in that moment and not do. And I'm not putting, by all means, if I can get something for nothing, I'm gonna take it, right?
Right.
But I think we have to really advocate for change in the mental, meaning, hey, you want to do this and that, like, okay, let's put in the work. This is what it's gonna take to do that and help them.
Yeah. And you do have to watch out for the handouts, right? I'm really big on not enabling people to stay where they're at, right? I mean, down to the point where, you know, a family member could say, Regina, can you take me to the store to get some cigarettes? I'm like, I don't know if I want to support you. Like, I mean, it's that serious for me.
I don't like people that smoke.
Yeah, well, it honestly is that serious for me. Like, I'm like, I don't want to, or like even like, I mean, I may take a shot or a drink every now and again, but it's not like excessive to the point where I'm passed out all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Just sometimes.
None of the time. I have to correct that. None of the time.
No, I'm with you. I had 3 relatives that died from cancer, and so for me, I'm just like, no, I'm not. No,
and it's not to pass judgment, because I know that all of us may be struggling with different things. But I honestly, I would have a lot more respect for you if I did have that problem, for you to tell me, Regina, not today. Like, give me a hug and the love, because honestly, that goes into the mental health. Exactly.
You want to be on the positive thing, so you can get the drinks for somebody else, but I can do something positive for you that's going to enhance your life. Don't ask me for the things.
I'll give you a hug, but I'll take you to the liquor store.
I'm not going to take a liquor store, but you know.
But your last $2, no, honey, you have to get on the bus and go home.
Exactly, that part.
Yeah. That's the problem that we have to educate our people to be like, look, okay, you just got paid. Let's work your budget. Let's figure a budget, right? Because people, that's a whole other topic. Yes, we gotta. It's all about educating.
Education and tough love. For some, you want to pick one of them little things out?
A topic.
How many times we gonna do?
Two. You want to do one quick one, or you want to just like do a final thought?
Nope, that's it. Final thought.
Let's do a final thought. Go ahead, Katrina.
Oh, me.
You brought it up,
I know. I was just trying to close out. That's how we close out. But no, I thought this was my final thought was this podcast, this discussion. A very enlightening discussion. So I really appreciate you ladies for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
I appreciate you ladies for coming out and allowing me and inviting me to this podcast and us to go over things. But no, definitely podcast. I don't know if we have a word that we say peace out on, but we can do the like. We can go around.
Yeah, let's go around.
Yeah,
let's go Celeste.
My final thought, just based on our 2 topics tonight, is it's okay to talk to somebody. I think it's just as simple as that. It is okay to talk to somebody. And it's okay to go to the doctor. I think that's another thing in the Black community. I know that was on a whole other subject. But it is okay to get a mental checkup and a physical checkup. It is important. We see too many of our Black and brown people passing away at such an early age. You know, had they just went and talked to somebody or went and, you know, to the doctor for that checkup. So my final thought is just pour into yourself.
Yeah, I love that. I think my final thought is on the lines of living out your goals and your dreams and being a self-advocate. Like, I think, and you said a little earlier about being able to speak up for yourself in corporate America, right? And then also being a self-advocate, actually being able to speak up for yourself in those type of situations. And I think even in mental health too, that will also help out. I've actually taught all 4 of my sons.
4 sons. I tell you what,
4 sons.
She was good too.
Oh, thank you.
Don't worry, I'm not trying to hit on you. Don't worry.
Okay, for that. But teaching them to, one, talk good to themselves. So I have them say 3 good things about themselves before they leave the house. And that way they say things like, you know, I'm smart or whatever comes to their mind, so they can originate that thought instead of me telling them, you is smart, you is beautiful. What? You is beautiful.
No,
Which is good.
Right.
But I want them to generate the thoughts and think about the good things. So when mommy is not there, can you be able to pick yourself up? So little things like that. It's not perfect in our household, but being a self-advocate is one of the things that I would say.
And real quick before you go, I was having a conversation with a friend earlier this week, literally about this topic, mental health. And one of the things I said to this person is, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Ooh,
you are giving so
part.
much to everybody else. What are you giving? You don't even have anything for yourself. You have to have, self-motivation and fill your own cup up first before you start to pour out to others. And other people may not understand that. I have people reaching out to me all the time. I ain't got it.
There you go.
No, seriously.
There you go.
Years ago, I was a person, if you called me, I would give you the shirt off my back. I'm not saying that I will not help you, but if I'm not in a space to where my cup is not full, I am not going to give it to you. I have learned that it comes with that self,
I love that.
That self-care. That's what it's all about. And if people cannot respect that, you have to walk away.
I love that.
Yeah. Everything that y'all said, I echo it 3 times. I will also add that know your worth. Don't let anybody use you, abuse you, because they will misuse you.
Yeah, they will.
And love yourself.